What is up, you guys? Pete DiCarlo here, and I'm doing something new. If you didn't already see my Visa video setup, I will link it down below. I'll also put a little card right up here at the top of the screen. But I want to do something new where I share one or two trade ideas every single week that are setting up really well, where I think that you could make a decent amount of money within a couple of weeks or months. Now, please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just trades that I'm personally taking that I see value in. And I figured that since a lot of people here are into, investing in the long term or potentially trading over a couple of weeks to a couple of months instead of day trading, that I'd put them on this channel instead of my secondary channel, which is more about just trading, within the day or very small swing trades. So I want to share with you something that I'm looking at, and that is Apple. Apple has been doing really, really well. We saw highs of up to $140 post split, lows most recently $110, and we have had a very, very strong support between $110 and $120. Now, this is called a pendant or a symmetrical triangle. This is a continuation pattern. So usually what happens is we get descending resistances. So you can see we had a resistance at 133, resistance at 125, resistance at 120. Then we have ascending supports. So basically supports that move their way up. So we had a support at 102, a support at 107, and a support at 113 until we get to what's called the apex, which is kind of the head of this squeeze right here. Now, normally we start to move between until we eventually get to the head, and then we break out or break down in whichever way that the stock was trending beforehand. In this case, up. We can see here too, this is looking really, really good. I am in this right now. You can see, I'll share my position with you. I'm up $250 on the day, and I'm up $197 since I opened the position on Friday. I have 100 shares, so about $11,000 worth. I personally went with shares in this case, and I'll explain why, but because I don't want to deal with decay, and this is something that I think is going to take some time before we push up to $140. Now, something I do want to show you is on the volume profile. I did explain how the volume profile works within that Visa video, so if you want to learn about that, I highly recommend you go check it out. But essentially, there's a huge amount of volume within the price level of $110 to $120. You can see that basically once we can get over this $120 resistance point, which we've tapped twice today, you can see here, if I go to the daily, we've tapped close to it, about 119.50, but we've almost tapped that twice today. And we'll look at the black box to show you where what big money is doing after this. But if we can get through 120, if we can get some good volume coming into the stock, if we can see some bulls continue to buy it and some whales continuing to move into it, it should be pretty easy for this to go from 120 up to 125. And then once we're past 125, look at how little the volume is. Such small volume up here, we should easily be able to break out to $137. A good example is something I played today and I called out to my private community, which was AMD. Look at this breakout. I sold a little early. I made $420, but I called this out to my community last Tuesday or Wednesday. We had a nice squeeze, nice move here. And look, same thing, a lot of volume at this like 87.50 range. But once we broke over it, within a single day, we're up almost 7%. So it's kind of the same situation, even though it's not the same setup as Apple. But once we can break through these chunks of volume, it'll be pretty easy to get up to $140. So I see at least a move up to $125, then potentially a move up to $140 by the end of the year, potentially first week of January. If we look at the flow for just today on Apple, let me make the black box bigger for you guys right there. There you go. We can see that dark pool volume came in. So we had about $11 million worth of dark pool move in at about 110, which was 2 minutes ago, right up here. The thing is, like, $11 million is not a lot when it comes to Apple. It's a lot if it comes to a smaller cap company, but it's really not a lot. So that's not too crazy for me. It's not like we have a ton that was coming in, but overall, pretty much nothing but calls coming in. This is just today. Nothing but calls coming in for Apple. If we look at the historical, going back to last Monday up until right now, let's zoom back. We can see pretty much all buying last week. And as the stock is squeezing and we see a lot of buying coming in on the black box, it's a really good sign that we're going to see a push pretty soon. And today alone, Apple's up 2%, which is pretty big for a company their size to move within a single day. So obviously whales and market makers and hedge funds and all these people who are buying a ton of calls and moving big shares across the market, they feel pretty good about Apple. We have a good technical setup, and we have really good risk versus reward, because if you were to enter here, right, the potential reward is about 17%, and if you were to set your stop loss down here at 110, that's a 7% loss. So it's not as good as getting in like when I got in about Friday, but still you're risking about 6 to 7% to make about 17 to 20%. So it's a pretty good risk versus reward ratio. And in my opinion, the chances of this taking a push up are pretty high. Now, if you're looking to scale out of this position, like say you got in when I did, a first part of scaling out, if you're an option specifically, would be starting to sell some at 125. So this is why when I buy something, I buy in multiple times and I also sell out in multiples. So say you got in, you bought in about like 115, 116, 117 when I got in, then I would be looking to shave some of your position off at about $125, and then you could shave a little bit more off at 130, 135, and then if we break out to all-time highs, you can just hold the rest. And this way you're protecting your downside once we get up to those levels, but you're also not just fully selling out of the position, which is what I should have done with AMD. I should have just sold half of my position and then held the rest in case we take a push back up to $95. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about these videos. It's kind of a little different than what I like to do normally with this channel. I like to keep this channel more about long-term investing and different options, selling puts and spreads, and try to keep it around that. But I figure that giving you guys some potential plays that I give to my private academy members will help you guys out to not only put, like I said earlier, a little bit more money into your pocket, but kind of get an understanding of what I look for when I am trading. If you do want to be a part of the private community, we are having a Cyber Monday sale. You get the first month entirely for free. There's only a couple more hours left. We have 60 hours of different courses and lectures, literally all set up to take you from an absolute newbie. You learn about options, you learn about day trading, swing trading, technical analysis, all the indicators I use, other indicators that a lot of other professional traders use, as well. You get access to our Discord. There's 310 members within the Discord. I post all of my plays there live. I post all of the trades that I have taken and that I'm entering. Any trade ideas, they also go there. And I do live stream kind of like this every single morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So it's a great group to be a part of. I will put the link down below. As well, if you haven't, check out my secondary channel called Traders Helping Traders, where I make 5 to 6 videos a day just like this, but going over more active trading. So I want to thank you guys for watching. It really means a lot to me. We've been doing this for over a year now, right around a year, I should say, and we're at almost 3,000 subscribers. So I would never have expected to have that big of a following in just a year of doing this. So it really means a lot to me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. And until next time, guys, peace.